Welcome to episode 8. Today, we're going to take a posture of peace by leaning on the Lord, who is the upholder of our lives. Hi, I'm Lindsay van Zyl. Posture is a podcast that serves as a short, audible fist pump to remind you that God is in everything. Together, we're going to be emboldened to take a daily posture of perfect peace. Psalm 54, verse 4 says this, "Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is the upholder of my life." Now I see two things here in this verse itself. I see a revelation that leads to a surrender, or a posture, if you will. A surrender meaning a different way of seeing things and a different way of doing life. And Chapter 54 itself is pretty short, and I really encourage you to read it for yourself today. You'll see that it's verse 4 that becomes very pivotal. So King David writes this, and he's writing it during a time where he's living under accusation, hiding from Saul, and things aren't going well. And you'll see that he starts the chapter a certain way, praying for salvation, praying for the Lord to come and help him out. Pointing out all the things that his enemies are doing to him and against him. And then you hit verse 4, and there's this pivot with this revelation of who God is and what it means for the life of David. And then the chapter ends with this victorious stance that David takes. And it reminds me, specifically verse 4, that it's the Lord who's responsible for my life, because it's the Lord who is my source of life. I don't know about you, but I used to have this tendency where I would trust the Lord with the monumental, but I would really struggle to surrender to Him the mundane. Meaning, I could trust Him with, the salvation of my eternity, but when it came to the details of my day, I felt solely responsible for those things. So, it felt like the Lord was the one who was carrying, eternity, but I was responsible for my day-to-day. And what happened was I began to be burdened with this sole responsibility for, all the details. So the expectations and perceptions of others, my business and success, my reputation, my relationships, my home, even my ministry. And you can see where you begin to carry those. And then things like perfect peace in the everyday begins to also feel like it's my sole responsibility to make happen. So those are the things that I carried instead of choosing to accept this beautiful invitation to partner with the one who is the actual upholder of my life. I'm a planner. I love routine. I love rhythms. I love productivity, but my plans, my routine, even my ability to get things done and make things happen, those do not uphold my life. They are not the source of my life. Maybe you're not a planner. Maybe you're one of those amazingly fun people who just thrive off of spontaneity and adventure, and you just revel in the unknown, and you just have this ability to make anything absolutely fun. I'm a little jealous of you, but I love you, and I need you in my life. And you thrive off of adventure. You thrive off of spontaneity. But again, they're wonderful things, but they don't uphold your life. They're not responsible for fulfilling your life even. Some days we place the responsibility for the fulfillment of our lives, for the joy of our hearts, for the peace of our minds. We place all of that on these types of things or even on other people, and we expect them to uphold us. And when those things are missing, or when they miss the mark even for the standards and the expectations we have, instead of feeling upheld, we feel held down. Another example, I like to be liked. I like making a positive impact on other people. I like getting things done. I like moving things forward. But if none of those things happen today, I'm still upheld with abundant life from a God who never runs dry. I want you to remember that today it's the Lord who is your helper. Checking off to-do list, finding adventure, getting the invitation, getting the promotion, they may help, but ultimately they do not uphold your life. and they're certainly not the source of it. Today, it's the Lord who is your helper. He's not holding you down, and He's definitely not holding out on you. He is upholding your life with His unrelenting goodness. The promise of perfect peace is found in Isaiah 26:3, and in Hebrew it is shalom, shalom, meaning complete wholeness, nothing missing, nothing broken. This is who you are in Jesus. Let's declare this together. Today, I am kept in perfect peace. With my whole heart, I trust the Lord. I am strong, I am victorious, I am whole. Remember, friend, you are a living testimony of Jesus' ultimate win. Not because of anything you did, but because of what He did for you. With every step you take today, you're putting Jesus' victory on display and Satan's defeat on replay.